All right, so you were going to give us an example earlier.
Yeah, the example I will usually give is if you have a house that is filthy, or even as a human, you are attracting flies, you are attracting roaches, you are attracting rodents, you are attracting all kinds of. So, of course, in reality, in life, your roaches could be ill health, your flies would be situations that bring you into depression, you know, your could be anger, could be worries, could be anxiety, could be fear, could be any of those negative energies. So there is no way you can fight these effects on their own without going to the cause. So if you have situations like that, what you do is look deeper than those effects into the cause. And usually the cause is self. So look into you, get the cause and work on the cause. And once the cause is worked on and it no longer attracts the rodents, the roaches, the flies, the ants, they would find their way. They would go on their own. All right. That will now take us to the things we said about, previous episodes we've had about how can you do that? And we've said many times, there is actually what you can do is very, very limited. The power to do all of these things is not currently resident within you. You have to lift yourself to a level where you have access to power to make these things happen. What you can do, the only thing you can do now is to lift yourself to that realm where you have access to the power to do all of this. How do you lift yourself to that realm?
Yeah.
Yes. Summary of how you can lift yourself to that realm is go do unto others exactly the same thing that you want the universe to do for you. That is the summary. Life is so simple. There are no 12 laws to keep to achieve this, 15 projects to do to achieve this, 7 things you must do on a daily basis. There is nothing like that at this our level, at least.
Okay.
Maybe for some people at some other levels, whether they are higher levels or lower levels, maybe they find solace in that. Maybe it works for them. But at this level, there is only one thing that is expected of us, and is boldly written everywhere. The problem is we don't want to do that one thing, but we want to do every other thing to please the universe. That one thing we do not want to do. We don't do it. So we can quote commandments, we can quote laws, we can quote principles, we can quote everything, and then mark ourselves good in those areas. But this one thing we don't do. And that is the one thing that matters. Do that one thing and you have fulfilled all righteousness. Do that one thing and you have fulfilled the book. Do that just one thing and you have fulfilled the prophet. So people should stop looking for what is not lost and face the reality that just this one thing would change everything about you, about your life. Why? To make this whole life journey very simple, just 2 things is required of us. As we move along that part of our journey, we should try and make everybody we meet on the way, on our journey, happy. So happiness here, there, put his mind on somebody's face. That is one. Then 2, we should become a better person ourselves through the journey. Become brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter through the journey. Do these 2 things, and you will not need to seek prophecy. You will not need to seek magic. Your problem will just evaporate. These are the 2 things. All right. Again, like we do in all of the episodes, this is the substance of our message. So it's not so much to emphasize it all the time. Do these two things. What brings you to the level of the performance at this, to achieving these two things? The same thing, actually. Knowledge. Knowledge. By knowledge, you become better and better, and you know a little bit more than you knew yesterday. You are a better person. You know a little bit more than you know today. You are a better person. And it is that same knowledge, not education, that same knowledge that will open your eyes, your third eye, your inner eye, your mind to, oh, you remember we talked about knowledge building understanding? So that knowledge will give you understanding as to, you begin to see at the level I'm seeing now, why these things, the place of these things that we are discussing. It will no longer be me or a third party trying to explain to you.
Okay.
It now becomes, oh, because knowledge will give you understanding. And with understanding, everything that was hidden becomes known. The hidden is revealed with understanding. It was by ignorance that they were hidden. By knowledge, you gain understanding, they become known. So once the unknown become known, you have no reason for fear anymore. Fear goes with the unknown. Worries go with the unknown. Frustration go. Frustrations go with the unknown. All right?
Okay.
So it's okay to keep asking me for the benefits of viewers. So what do we do? What do we do? It's the same thing. There is nothing new to do. What we'll do is the same thing that was done in those days, the same thing that should be done now, and it will, because it's a principle, it will remain the same forevermore. As it was yesterday, so it is now. So shall it ever be. So we cannot look at ourselves like, if we, every time we look at ourselves, we are likely to score ourselves good. So we are good, we are not the problem. So we cannot by our own self access ourselves and mark ourselves good and therefore say we are not our own problem. For as long as we continue to say that we are not our own problems and we are pointing fingers to the effect, yes, these people, these things are actually there as our problems, but they are mere effects. What is causing them to haunt us? What is causing the witch that is obvious that we see as our problem to haunt us? To haunt us?
Yeah.
What is causing the unpleasant situations that we experience to come our way? There's a cost to it. So if you say, my enemy die, this witch die, that wizard die, and you are left alone in the world, is that what you want? In any case, you do not even have the power to kill, because they are there doing their work, the very work for which they are created to do. That's what they are doing. To haunt people at that realm. So what are you going to do to get out of there, since you cannot kill, you cannot really change that situation? You did not create it. It was there for a purpose. The only reasonable thing to do is to lift yourself out of that realm and soar, create wings and fly away from that realm to a higher realm and leave the witches, the wizards, the darkness behind and soar into new light, into a higher level. That is the way to conquer your effect. Now, when I say put on your wings, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? You have to have access to power, to these wings. So how do you gain access to power? You'll be lifted from where you are now, because this is spiritual now. This is not something physical that you can do by yourself. Okay. You can be lifted from where you are now to a new realm. And even from there to a higher realm where this power already exists. But what will lift you? What are these things that will lift you? Back to the same solution. Back to the same solution. the solution is one. And the solution is whatsoever. That's a summary. You could break that down into ways that it affects your particular situation. Whatsoever ye would that the universe should do for you, go and do unto. In other words, for anybody wondering, can't you just say this thing in plain English? Why are you always referring to that? It simply means give. Give. Build the mentality, the capacity, the where the armor, the how else can I put it? Let just be giving. Let your other name be give. Do not hold onto yourself. That is just the meaning of whatsoever ye would that men should do for you, go give unto men. Go do the same unto others. Now we are generalizing because it is not, if you decide that what you want nature to give to you, what you want universe to give to you, is not giving, is the other way, then go ahead and do that. You also get the result. But I'm assuming that what we want is, our desire is to get something. Whatsoever it is that you want to get, go and give him. That was what we meant by on your journey, make, plant, sow, everyone happy.
Okay.
Make sure that's what how do you make somebody happy? You must give something to make somebody happy. From a hug to something tangible to well-wish, you must give something. Give. So then what is my difference? If I'm emphasizing give, then what is the difference between my teachings and the religious teachings that I'm trying to draw people away from? The difference is, because yes, they also emphasize giving. The difference here is, I'm not saying go and give to a particular building or go and give to a particular person or come and give to me. Do not give to me. Do not give to me. In any case, you don't even have my contact or anything to give to me. So the difference is, don't come to a particular building, a particular temple, a particular person to give. No, that is where the giving is different.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Of course, we cannot talk about giving in just one episode. However, I can attempt to summarize that like we have already done previously. That first of all, that summary itself will belong. But in giving, the people that you should give to are already around you. Don't go far looking for them. They are already around you.
Okay.
So give to people who need it, not in some title called whatever name. Give to people who need it. Be answer to somebody else's prayer. Just like you will lock up yourself in a room and pray to your creator and say, this is what I want. Also go out there imagining that somebody also has prayed to the same creator. And as you are expecting your creator to send somebody, I mean the universe, to use something to answer your prayer, you also go and be that something that will answer somebody's prayer. That's how it goes wrong. It's merry-go-round. You answer somebody's prayer, this person answers somebody's prayer, this person, and then you have created your own heaven. It's not up to you how the universe will answer your prayer. You have said the prayer, believe it, that it is done, and go about your number. In fact, when you doubt, you are not exercising faith. You are saying, the universe, I don't have faith in you. You fail. You are a failure. You can say and you do not do it. Your universal laws that we are learning now, they are not reliable. Therefore, and then how would you tell a father that he's not reliable and expect something from that father? But when you have faith, you go back and check and you see it's not done. Is it not universe? I know you will do it. If you decide to call the universe father, it's okay. I know he will do it, even though it's not done yet. That kind of faith can move even the universe to look in your direction. In a way, I'm trying not to put so many things in one, just this answer. But basically, I am saying that the giving is not to a particular person, not to a particular temple, not to a particular building, should not be called a particular title. In fact, give in secret. And when I say give, what kind of fruits do you expect to return? Do you expect somebody to just come and give you a $50 note and say, thank you for your work, take $50? Or maybe, I just feel like blessing you, take $50. Is that the kind of fruit that you expect as return? No, that's not the kind of fruit I expect as return. The kind of fruit that I expect as return is okay. The kind of fruit I would expect as return is to have a place I can always go to. If I need $1 million, I can go there and take it without hesitating and without thinking, oh, how will I raise the money? If I need to, whatever I need to do, I should have, what's the word now? I should have my supply in abundance, so much that I don't even remember how much I have. Or sometimes it goes empty. I don't care if it goes empty, because I know my faith is so strong that in another 2-3 days, if I go there, something will be there. And that's what actually happens right now. That's what I practice now. 1 week, I am saying, oh, I need $3,000, I need $6,000 to be able to fix this. Okay, what do I have in the account? Sometimes nothing. And by the end of that 1 week or 2 weeks, when I needed that money for, I would have done everything that I needed the $6,000 or even $10,000 to do. So that's the kind of result that I want. Not somebody giving me $50 and give me a part of it. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not saying, but I'm saying I want better result than that. So if you want better result, if you want the kind of result that I want, is it $50 that you're going to sow as seed? When I say seed now, I do not mean taking this to some teacher like me or to some titled man. I mean looking at somebody within your environment, around your family. Charity begins at home. This is charity. So you should start at home. I mean, these proverbs did not just come out of the blues. So if that is the kind of bountiful harvest you're expecting, then how good is your seed? So I cannot expect that bountiful harvest if I have not sown a bountiful seed. So the kind of seed that should bring that kind of harvest, yeah, let's discuss that separately, will not be you sowing peanuts. Sorry, I have to use the word sow. I'm trying to use a different word that religious people are not already using. All right? Okay. Invest in somebody's life. A good sowing would be something that will make a difference in somebody's life. In fact, a lifelong difference.
Okay.
For example, if you permanently, all your life, provide roof, accommodation over somebody's head, that's a significant difference. Very true. Every month of the year, assuming that you are not rich enough at this level to build a house for that person, every month of the year, at the appropriate time, pay the rent for this family. Pay rent. First year, second year, third year, 15 years, 17 years. That is a good seed. That kind of seed can produce this kind of result, where your spiritual store is always filled. Every time you go there, you would always find something. And even if you go there, you don't find something, close it. I mean, talking about your bank account now, close it. Go and continue to do your good works. Come back at the appropriate time. It will be filled again. So if you take somebody who by himself cannot afford to go through school, and you take that person and you train that person, maybe a stranger, maybe a relation, or you are doing this out of love. Again, we've talked about love, we'll talk about it again. That is a beautiful habit. Maybe I say it's a good seed. because you are not expecting return from this person. You are not expecting return, because once you do it for return, it becomes business. It's no longer practice of principle. Business is different. Okay. I also run businesses where I expect you to pay me before I render service, but that is not what we're talking about. We're just doing this as helping the universe answer prayers by somebody else, so that the universe will also do unto others what you expect the universe to do for you. That's what we're doing here. All right. And then occasionally you just stand up by yourself and you say, you know what? I feel like universe. I mean, this should be the kind of prayer we should be saying now, these days. The kind of prayers we should be saying now is, universe, tell me what to do for you. I have ₦1 million. Maybe I don't have it right now, but I want to spend ₦1 million for you, the universe. Show me however you want to. Show me, open my eyes to what I should do for you with $1 million. I'm tempted to say dollars. I'll just go ahead. All right. So this is not a prophet telling you go and do this, go and do that. It's just, in fact, it is secret between you and the universe. Nobody knows this thing. So you're not doing this to impress anyone. It is just between you and the universe. That is where they say, when you are doing with your one hand, don't let the other hand know.
Okay.
You don't have to talk about it. Otherwise, they will clap for you and hail you and give you awards, and you'd have received your awards, your benefits. Is that what you want? You want men to pay you instead of the universe? You are cheating yourself if men just give you accolades and give you awards instead of and depriving universe the opportunity to pay you back. So this is between you and the universe. So have I given you instances of good seeds that can result in bountiful harvest?
Yeah, you have.
And 2, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, the universe actually opens your eyes. You just find yourself thinking constantly about this particular, and you're okay, yeah, it makes sense. Why have I not thought about that? And secretly, sometimes even the person may not even know that you are the one doing this. Every month, you're just putting something in that account. However you want to do it, however the universe has directed you. Maybe, okay, use the money to do this for this person, or for this 5 person, or for, you do that. And then one witch or one wizard will come and say, you will not reap the reward of that seed. No, the result is you'll be lifted. They will still be there. Nobody will kill them. They are there doing their work. The devil is a necessary part of life, but you'll be lifted above them to a new realm where your reward is now waiting for you. So it wasn't you that prayed or tried to fight effect. It was your practice of principle that lifted you above the realm where those effects resided to a new level where they cannot, because they did not practice those principles and therefore they were not lifted. I mean, you have soared above that realm onto a new realm. So you see why I say, even when we say do this, you're actually limited in, you don't have the power to do it until that power is released to you. But how is the power released to you? You are moved out of that realm to a new realm where that power already is. Then you come into that power. Then all of these things we are talking about, the gift of the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit, they will just begin to manifest. Because you sowed the seed of the Spirit, and the seed of the Spirit would produce the fruits of the Spirit. Peace of mind, joy, happiness, faith, faithfulness, godliness, all of these things. You did not go, they are just fruits resulting from the seed that you sowed in the Spirit. Even though it was physical
seed
sowing, but do you see the connection with the practice of principles and all of this? That connects it to the Spirit. It's not just, it was something you considered in your mind. That is the connection to the Spirit. It was something you considered, dwelled on in your thoughts. It became mature in your mind and in your imagination before you eventually implemented it. All of that is made it spiritual. So only the seed of the Spirit can produce fruits of the Spirit. And what we are all looking for. I'm assuming that you know what we mean by fruit of Spirit. Okay. But basically, it just means those things that I mentioned. The joy that we are looking for.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's just joy. And joy will come in different form. Of course, in the form of peace of mind, in the form of love, in the form of goodliness, in the form of all of these beautiful, beautiful effects.
Okay.
That's the fruit. And that's what we're looking for. Whether we go to Canada today, we run to UK tomorrow, we say, if you go to US, you pick dollars on the floor. It's the same thing we are looking for. We are looking for the same thing. Happiness.